is up, guys? Coming from the fresh hot pan of Twitter drama. Many of you know me as @BrinaButter_ on Twitter. I don't talk in front of cameras. This is really weird for me, but I'll get used to it over time. Yeah, so like I said, many of you know me from Twitter. So ignore the setup. This is just how it's going to be for the first few videos until we move out of this place. I'm basically just sitting on my bed right now. Like, this is horrible. And yeah. So I also have some minor notes for a lot of the questions, because a lot of these questions are really in depth, and yeah, I'm kind of stupid and stumble over my words, so I just want to be clear, I am filming on my iPhone, so if the quality of this video is complete garbage, please don't roast me for it, because I'm too broke. And transferring stuff from my camera to my phone takes a lot longer than doing it to a laptop, which I'm hoping to get soon. So now I'm just using an old cracked phone. Yeah, so let's get into this. So our first question today is from the Enduring Icon. What would you do to fix WWE's current product? Well, me personally, I would kill off Vince.
Ladies and gentlemen, we got him.
Give ownership to Triple H because he's doing fantastic with NXT, and I can only imagine what he would do with the talent that we have on main roster now. So our second question is from Bucks Omega. What 5 songs would you recommend to your viewers? So my 5 songs that I'd recommend to my viewers would definitely be first, Duckworth by Kendrick Lamar. That's a good song. Christ Control by Cancer Killing Gemini. The song is Corey Graves' old theme song when he was in NXT before he retired. Good song, definitely would recommend it if you haven't heard it. Diamonds by Danger Incorporated. Danger Incorporated is very new, and I really like their music, and yeah, so definitely check that song out. In My Feelings by Lana Del Rey, that's another good song. And Free Mind by Taj Sultana. So I listen to everything besides country. I'm not too much of a country girl, but like, I listen to everything else. So if you love listening to music, definitely check those songs out, because they will. He's a good friend of mine on Twitter. It's more so of an idea than a question. I'm supposed to give my thoughts on it, so here we go. I think that an NXT invasion angle with the ultimate payoff being Triple H gaining control of the entire company could fix the ratings issue, as well as tell a nice long story leading all the way into Fox, where you can have Triple H lead SmackDown. What is your thoughts on that? I think overall I like this idea because you get all of the superstars combined into like this one big storyline, not leaving really anybody out, because everybody's trying to get that like involvement in such a big storyline. Like, you got one brand fighting these other brands, and I just really think it'd be a good way to send Vince on his way out and bring Triple H in. And yeah, I think that's all I can really say on that one. Except I really agree. I have no disagreement there. I'm kind of dumb. Can't read. Piero Bucelato. I think I said that right. I hope so. I apologize if I didn't. But the question is, one thing you love about main roster, and it can be certain wrestlers, and one thing I hate about AEW. Well, one thing I love about main roster is like the dedication from the wrestlers. You can see that they're trying to go out there and put on a good show, but like creatively, they're just not getting the material to do that. So I can really say I just in general love that, like, the passion that's coming from the wrestlers themselves. One thing I hate about AEW right now is just like, I think the shots like from everybody's end is uncalled for, but I just feel like AEW again needs to focus on themselves, kind of build up their own brand before like really getting involved in like the who's better and whatever else. You know what I'm saying? Our next question is from Ryan on Wrestling. Pick one male, one female, one tag team you would sign to AEW from outside of WWE. And this lighting fucking sucks. For my one male, I would choose Marty Scurll, because yeah, he's like, come on, it's Marty, we need him, okay? Enough said. For my woman, I said Tessa Blanchard, because I think that once they have her on the roster, AEW could possibly have the best women's roster possible. For tag teams, I said LAX. Simple. Enough said. I don't even gotta say anything. Like, they're already on their way out of Impact, and I can really see AEW picking them up. So, our next question is from SFNR11, or I guess you could say Seth freaking Rollins, because I'm pretty sure that's what that stands for. Why do you think Kenny Omega will beat Moxley? Now, I know many of you will believe that I'm completely biased about this because I'm a big Kenny Omega fan. I'm coming for you, Cornette. But yeah, I also like Moxley too, but in this whole thing, I really don't see Omega walking out with an L. If anything, it's going to be a double DQ, but again, I just personally think Omega's going to walk out with a W. Moxley is coming off of a lot of steam and buzz from Double or Nothing, him making his return to the independent scene, I guess you could say. And yeah, he's currently holding the IWGP US Championship. And yeah, he's just been gaining a lot of like he's gained wins. He's gonna win at Fyter Fest, whether if I hate it or not. You know, like I like Janela, but Moxley's definitely gonna take the win this Saturday. I'll do some predictions later on in the week. But yeah, Moxley's just gonna he's gonna build up a record, and I just don't see Kenny losing. You know, like just realistically. Our next question is coming from Slayer Momsen. Favorite wrestling game? So I really liked the Nintendo 64 like growing up. So I definitely really liked Warzone. That was a really good game. I remember playing it all the time, and like yeah, it just became my favorite because the 2K games, they're not. I mean, they're okay. I mean, like I play them when I'm bored. I mainly play them for the creative stuff, but like other than that, like the 2K games, none of the 2K games like rank up there. So yeah, definitely Warzone. My next question is from King26 James. Favorite 5v5 Survivor Series match? So I'm very young, I'm only 17, so a lot of you like old heads might think I'm crazy. But my favorite Survivor Series match was in 03. It was Team Bischoff versus Team Austin, because really that match has everything you could ask for in a professional wrestling match, and there was a lot riding on it. And yeah, I'm not going to go too much into depth for that unless y'all want like a whole topic video on that. But yeah, I believe that's the one. Our next question is from Axeman907. Do you prefer faces or heels? If so, name your favorites of whichever. Definitely, I love heels. So definitely, probably one of my favorite heels currently is MJF. MJF is a fucking pimp. Not to mention, we had a group chat on Twitter, and he basically told us to fuck off, and he left the chat. It was fantastic. Like, I'm gonna drop probably a screenshot right here to show you guys, but it was great. Kevin Owens is definitely a really good heel. I just wish he was in a better position right now. Same with Sammy, he's doing really good as a heel. Definitely wish they'd be doing a lot more with him because he could definitely pull it off. Yeah, those are kind of my top ones right now. Ooh, and also Jericho. How did I almost forget Jericho? I don't know, but definitely Jericho is another top heel that I really enjoy. So our next question is from Heathermania X. Top 5 favorite female and males on Raw and SmackDown. So I am assuming that we're just talking about main rosters. So my top 5 men are AJ Styles, Samoa Joe, Aleister Black, Kevin Owens, and Sami Zayn. I love Cammy, so I'm a little biased there. Women, I like Ember Moon, Ruby Riott, Sonya Deville, Kairi Sane, and Asuka. A lot of the people I just mentioned are being poorly used, which is kind of disappointing, but overall, they're my favorites. Definitely want to see more of them in the future. Hopefully, they get utilized correctly and not booked poorly. But yeah. Our next question is from Chill Bill. I'm sorry. Chill Bill, I'm assuming. If you could take one wrestler from today and put him somewhere in the past, and one wrestler from the past and put him in today, who would it be? For me, I would bring Shawn Michaels to now, because I love Shawn Michaels. Definitely would love to see him face off with the likes of AJ Styles, and a few other guys. Definitely one match that I would kill to see is Shawn Michaels versus AJ. That would be a fantastic match. And somebody I would take, like, put to the past, R-Truth. I know he debuted in, like, 2000, but, like, I mean, put him, like, way back, like, in the 90s. I feel like he would fit in with a lot of the comical stuff and definitely would probably still be over, you know? The next question is from All Elite Villain, another one of my good Twitter friends. What is your biggest goal going into this? I'm curious. By going into this, I assume, like, YouTube. My biggest goal is to just, like, make people smile, like, just, like, converse, you know, get people talking. I just want to have something I can put my creative energy into because I don't have very many outlets. So this, talking to y'all, like, communicating with y'all, like, sharing my opinions, that makes me feel good. It makes me feel happier in a way. But yeah, that's my biggest goal, is, like, it's not about fame or money or anything like that. Like, I just want to do this for fun. I want to have fun, you know? Like, I just want to see who I can relate to on here and, like, get my opinions out without, like, going on a whole Twitter rampage. Maybe we could just vocalize it to a camera, even though I'm kind of horrible at it right now. I want to apologize beforehand if I mispronounce this. From Ron Buddha 6669. Very funny.
Stupid. I'm not going to let you get the chance.
When did you get into wrestling and why? So wrestling was really a big thing in my family growing up. Like, so I basically, like, was, like, very familiar with it from an early age. My great-grandparents watched it. My grandparents watched it. My mom watched it growing up. So it's kind of like family tradition. We'd gather around on Monday nights and watch Raw. Whenever SmackDown was on, we'd watch SmackDown. We'd order pay-per-views, watch WrestleMania. So, yeah, it just kind of grew from there. Like, in 08, I started wandering on the deep parts of YouTube, and that's how I found indie wrestling. That's how I got, like, involved. That's how I found Moxley. Like, it was, like, awesome. And yeah, from there, just my wrestling love just grew and grew and grew, and here we are now talking about it on camera. So yeah, that's basically it there. X Derek 101X. Who are your top 3 favorite wrestlers of all time? I hope it's okay I'm doing a top 5 instead, because top 3 is definitely just like so my top 5, no particular order. You got Shawn Michaels, Edge, Jeff Hardy, Kenny Omega, and AJ Styles. Yeah, so yeah, that's basically it. Yeah, I think those are my all-time favorites. There's definitely a bunch of, like, old school wrestlers I really do like, but those are my top 5. Next question is from good friend and fellow YouTuber Man of Infamy. What was the match that got you into wrestling? Well, it was actually a pay-per-view that, like, really, like, set in for me, that really, like, kind of gave me that feel for wrestling, that I was like, you know what, like, wrestling is the thing. That's the one thing that I'm going to be very passionate about for the rest of my life. It was WrestleMania 24. Yeah, so you got the Shawn Michaels versus Ric Flair. That match was very good, very sad. And then you got Undertaker versus Edge, which is probably, like, one of my first, like, full matches that I actually remember. Definitely one of my favorite Taker matches. And yeah, so that pay-per-view, I think is one of the better WrestleManias. And yeah, that's definitely the one that, like, fully gave me the love for wrestling. Like that, yeah. Our next question is from Exo Paragox. I think I pronounced that right. Which match made you fall in love with NXT? So it was definitely Sami Zayn versus Cesaro at NXT Arrival. That was a really good match. Definitely the one that made me fall in love with NXT. Just everything in that fucking uppercut was just, oh my god. Like, probably one of Cesaro's best uppercuts. Our next question is from N. Foster 1916. What is your dream match involving someone from the Elite and someone from anywhere else in wrestling that you would like to see that hasn't happened yet, and where would you like to see it happen? So, correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think Kenny Omega and Marty Scurll have had, like, a one-on-one match. I could be very wrong because I'm fucking slow. Definitely want to see that match happen in AEW at some point. And the reason why I'm saying that is also saying Marty is because he is not technically in the Elite yet because he is signed with Ring of Honor. You don't even know what AEW is, so if you know, you know. But yeah, so definitely Kenny versus Marty. That's something I really want to see eventually, maybe like in a main event of one of AEW's pay-per-views. Definitely something I want to see. Next question is from reviewer John 809. Worst pay-per-view? Definitely any of the Saudi pay-per-views because they have been horrible. That's all I gotta say. Enough said. And our final, most hard-hitting question, it comes from Sid S92. Does pineapple go on pizza? My answer to that is yes.
Let's have 10 of the pepperonis.
How many pepperonis,
You don't
sir?
put fucking pineapple on a pizza.
So it looks like that is all, guys. If you like this video, please like, comment, subscribe, maybe even turn the post notification bell on so you can get my future videos. So with that being said, this is Brina Butter signing off.